Do you realize that the kite soaring joyfully in the sky has a string that traces back to a shadowy episode in history, one deliberately concealed for more than 300 years? We label it Basant, we call it heritage, yet older historical records tell a very different story. Is this truly a celebration of spring, or is it actually a day of grief for someone who sowed the seeds of religious animosity long ago? Today, let's move beyond feelings and examine the evidence. Let's open that locked chapter of the past and place the facts in front of you, facts that have often been kept out of sight. Our account does not begin in modern Lahore, but in Sialkot in 1734 CE, during the reign of Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah Rangila. In a local madrasa, Muslim and Hindu students studied side by side. Historical sources describe how one day an argument broke out among the children. When the Muslim students spoke about their beliefs, a Hindu pupil named Haqiqat Rai allegedly responded with deeply offensive remarks. He is said to have used insulting language against Hazrat Fatima Zahra Ra, the beloved daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The incident quickly spread across the city like wildfire. This is not fiction. References appear in credible historical works. Lala Sohenlal Suri, the official chronicler during the Sikh period, recorded the event in detail in Volume 1 of his book Umdat-ut-Tawarikh. Likewise, Ganesh Das Wadera described the incident in his work Char Bagh-e-Punjab. The case eventually reached Zakariya Khan, the governor of Lahore. A massive crowd gathered outside the court. The local Qazi issued a ruling that the only path to pardon was for Haqiqat Rai to accept Islam. He refused. Under the prevailing law, he was condemned to death, and historical accounts note that the execution took place on the day of Basant Panchami. It's worth understanding what Basant Panchami actually represents. In the Hindu calendar, it marks the arrival of spring. Basant means spring, and Panchami refers to the fifth lunar day. The occasion is dedicated to goddess Saraswati, patron of learning and the arts. Yellow dominates the day. People wear yellow garments, prepare yellow foods, because yellow evokes the blooming mustard fields and the vitality of new life. Yet, the Basant of 1741 took on a completely different character. While the city was awash in spring colors, the Hindu community observed it as a day of mourning because of Haqiqat Rai's execution. Tradition holds that in remembrance of his soul, they began launching kites into the sky to honor his spirit and to symbolize that an innocent life had been freed into the vast heavens. That act planted the seed of a festival outwardly joyful, but rooted in a tragic event and underlying resentment. What is astonishing is how a day that originated in sorrow gradually transformed into a major celebration. As time passed, Sikh rule took hold in Punjab during the era of Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Observing the festival's popularity, he converted the day of mourning into a grand royal spectacle. Records indicate that he spent enormous sums annually on kites, prizes, and festivities. Gradually, even Muslims began participating, viewing it purely as a cultural occasion and losing sight of its original context. In 1849, the British took control. Recognizing that the event kept people engaged, they encouraged it and expanded it. During colonial times, Basant clubs sprang up in Lahore. Rooftop gatherings and hotel performances became hallmarks of the city. When Pakistan came into being in 1947, the land was gained, but certain customs crossed the border with us, and over time, this festival began revealing its darker side. A common defense today is that people no longer use glass-coated or chemical-treated string. We only fly with plain thread. That's a serious misunderstanding. Science explains that even ordinary strings stretched taut over thousands of feet and subjected to wind pressure becomes razor sharp from tension. When it strikes someone's neck, say a motorcyclist, it can sever the throat just as brutally. This isn't merely an accident, it amounts to killing. Let's set aside emotion and look at the data. Police and hospital records show that between 2006 and 2009 alone, 119 people died in Lahore, Faisalabad, and Gujranwala from this dangerous pastime. Over 40% were innocent children who either fell from rooftops while chasing kites or were struck by vehicles on the streets. In India, the toll is even higher. Animal welfare organization PETA reports that thousands of birds are killed annually during the Basant season by these taut strings slicing through the air. Can any festival justify so many lives lost? The damage extends beyond human lives. It inflicts massive economic harm. Government reports from WAPDA indicate that falling strings cause transformers to fail and power lines to short-circuit. In previous years, major cities like Lahore have been left without electricity for hours at a time during a single night, wasting millions of rupees, costs that ultimately burden ordinary citizens. And it isn't only about kites. Basant nights often bring reckless aerial firing and open displays of indecency. Is that part of our heritage? While Muslims worldwide grieve for the suffering children of Gaza and Palestine, are we in our own streets spilling the blood of our own people in the name of enjoyment? Isn't this the peak of callousness? So, if not Basant, then what? We already have the blessings of Eid, open sports grounds, the excitement of PSL and cricket, and much more. We are a nation that once taught the world refinement and civility. We have no need to borrow a festival whose origins lie in hatred and whose consequences include death. The choice rests with you. The next time you reach for a spool of string, pause and ask yourself, are these rupees helping to break a mother's heart? The string being cut isn't just thread, it's our collective conscience. History shows that nations that forget their own foundations are eventually erased by time.